Really cool when you live a mile or two from a place where you can go wheeling out in the desert. But what's not cool is when the parts on your vehicle break down. In this case, it isn't so bad because it was under warranty. This is actually my wife's Gladiator EcoDiesel, and a little over a year ago, I installed a 2-inch lift kit from Mopar, the Mopar Bilstein reservoir shock kit on it, and you can see that video. Check the card, should be over my head right about now. You can see that video of that whole installation, and it's been great, it's been awesome. Really, the only time since my wife's car that we've had it out for wheeling was a trip to Death Valley, and we gave the suspension a really good test, towing our small off-road trailer, and also just wheeling with just the Jeep alone on some pretty steep and rocky stuff in Death Valley. Fast forward a little over a year after the install, I was doing a routine oil change and I noticed this front left shock had sprung a leak out of the banjo fitting. And I really don't think there's anything you can do after a shock leaks oil and you've been driving on it. Probably ruined. I purchased this lift kit from Quadratec, so I realized there was a 2-year warranty on these parts from Mopar. I called them up, contacted them, sent them some pictures of the shock. It took a couple of months to get the new shock. I finally got it the other day. You can see right here all the oil that's all over this shock, and that banjo fitting there is what leaked it out. Fortunately, Quadratec sent me a brand new shock under warranty, and I'm going to be able to replace it for nothing. Well, let's go back, get in the garage, and see about changing this shock out. Shouldn't be too bad of a job. It's going to be a heck of a lot easier than it was installing the entire lift kit. I got the Jeep pulled in the garage. I got my wheel chock. I got my jack stand set up here underneath, and I got my tire off. Now we can get a really good look at this shock, how bad it is. And look over here. Just going to take an Allen wrench. You can see just how bad that shock is. So we'll get busy removing this shock. Pop these two zip ties off. We'll take a couple turns on this Allen wrench to loosen it up. That looks like that's kind of give us a hard time. Wow, I don't remember how I got this in. Do not really remember how I put this in when I installed this lift kit. There's this 10mm bolt here that I think holds the whole bracket on. I can't for the life of me remember how I got this thing in here. I guess there was that 10, and then down here is another 18. I'm seeing it now. There was a 10 there, and there. Basically, now that I got the reservoir loose, I can take this shock off. Now this top bolt, we should just be able to get out using the impact. So here's my old one that I just took off. It's a good idea to compare the part you're going to put on with the part you took off, and they look exactly the same, except for this one's nice and clean and brand new. Like I said, this is a warranty item. It was within the 2 years. They coughed up a brand new shock to me. This setup here, along with this bag of hardware that has a bracket for mounting the reservoir and a couple other items in it, this would have been $500. Comes in a box like this, Bilstein, and here's the part number for the front left, in case you're interested. This was going to be $500 out of my pocket if it wasn't warranted, so this one's toast. They didn't ask for this one back. Banjo fitting, it didn't even really come loose, it just leaked. I'm going to keep an eye on these banjo fittings so that this doesn't happen again. I always wondered what a shock looked like inside. Maybe I'll take it apart and one of these days on the bench and do the best I can taking it apart and check it out. But all right, anyways, let's get putting this new one back on. In case you're interested, I may as well show you guys what comes in this installation kit that comes with it. Like I said, I don't need most of it, it's already on there, but I might use a couple of the zip ties that comes in here. And it's gonna be nice to have a few spare parts. When you install this lift kit, you get a bunch of rib nuts or nutserts. Some people call them rib nuts or nutserts. And you get them that you have to put in the frame. Here's the bracket. Take a look at that. Some nicely machined parts, aluminum parts. Here's the bracket that I had a hard time figuring out how to get off. So which is good too, because if something was broken or I lost it. These I'm going to use though. And I can't remember the name of these, but they fit in the holes in the frame. It's a zip tie that fits in the hole in the frame. There's a specific name for these too. If you remember it, leave me a comment and tell me what it is. Anyhow, that's what comes in the bag. But let's get putting this shock back on, get this over with, get that tire back on I'm getting some new tires tomorrow, so I want to have this all ready to go. Slide this shock up inside the shock tower. Lamp the bolt. I just need to try to lower this axle down a little to get to about the same height. I guess it's going to be about it. I'll try to fit that up. Get this nice and tight, and then I'll figure out what the torque specs are. Now I just got to get this rubber down. So I've got that rubber back on. That was slightly aggravating. There's 10mm bolts going on this side. There's a nutsert over here that went in. 16mm bolt. Push this reservoir out of the way. Pretty hard to show you guys, but 10mm bolt started right here on the nutsert. Now I just need to keep that reservoir out of the way so I can get my 16 started down here at the bottom. Another nutsert. We got that. Take a few turns here on an Allen wrench. I put that zip tie on the wrong way, but I think that'll be okay. So there we go. The reservoir's on. Got the line attached. The new shock's in. So if you hung in this far, hopefully I compacted this video down enough with enough action to make it watchable, and replaced the shock with the reservoir. Warranty. Thanks to Quadratec. Thanks to Mopar for standing behind their product and warrantying that, saving me $500. And check out some of the other videos on the channel. How-tos, gear reviews, and some of my adventure videos. And this is my temporary garage here. I should, in a couple months, have a nice decked out shop and garage to work in and be able to do things a lot easier than I did today. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. And don't forget, the best is yet to come. I looked underneath the car. I saw